Hey guys, back to another episode 13. As always, Damon Campbell.
Griffin Blue.
And yeah, we're here with a MountainView, you know, one of our favorites,
Yep.
our friends.
Locals.
And yeah, we got the dark side of town, a beer that Griffin has been yearning to get on the show.
Yeah, I love this beer. I wouldn't shut up about it on episode 5, our MountainView episode. And now here it is.
It's here.
I'm so excited. And it took a while to get here. Because this episode wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be an episode. Here we are scrambling to put one together. We're known to be not organized with this show, and we try to be, but we really struggle. We've only just gotten into the swing of being able to release episodes on time, the time we say, have time. Before it was never on time.
Yeah.
We actually had an episode already recorded. We recorded it last week along with the Cannery Brewing episode, the Anarchist Amber Ale, and it was a special episode. It was something different that we've never done before, and there was a recording error that we just discovered. Not to date this video, but it's Friday that this episode comes out. So
Yeah.
like it's literally.
So we're kind of recording an episode to release today.
So if you listen on our, like when we release on our Friday nights, we recorded it Friday morning, afternoon actually. It's the afternoon. It's like well into the afternoon. We're really trying to get it out because our other video episode, as we said, we ran into some issues and it will not be coming out until we redo it. So which sucks.
Yeah.
So we fished these out, which I'm perfectly happy with because I am very excited actually to be doing this. So should we just
we get to it. So yeah, the dark side of town is a how do you pronounce it?
I'm guessing Schwarzbier. Schwarzbier?
Yeah, if you don't know, I think that means black beer.
Black beer.
And
German black beer.
actually, yeah, it's in Germany. That's where it came from. And basically, it's pretty much just like a dark lager with like flavors of coffee and chocolate. And it's kind of like a stout, but it has like it's low bitter and like low aromas. So
usually around a 5% alcohol content rating.
And another fact is that Schwarzbier, another word for it is Malta, but that's what they say in Chile actually.
Yeah, Chilean word for this beer.
Malta.
We did some research before this episode.
Yeah.
If you listen to episode 5, I constantly call it a stout because I cannot remember what it's actually called.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just have to call it something, so I called it a stout. I was so wrong. But
we'll call it a black beer.
yeah, black beer. Say hello to our black beer, dark side of town.
And, would you like to read the
I would
write-up?
love to read the write-up. I'm very excited. Regions of Hope, BC are shrouded in darkness during the autumn and winter months. The sun doesn't reach over the mountaintops and the cloud cover is pervasive. Our Schwarzbier celebrates the darkness of roasted malts and the enigmatic Pacific Northwest. Very true. It's actually really funny. We didn't know about like what the write-up said earlier, and I was picking Damon up. He lives in what is currently the dark side of town.
Yeah.
But it tends to be the much nicer region during the summer.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the sun doesn't get past the mountains, and picking him up, and we were joking about like the spot right where you leave the shadow and enter the sun, and how it goes from being all frosty and like the mountains are covered in snow to just the complete opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of changes because like when summer comes, that side is darker, and then I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's just where the sun's positioned, right? It's really interesting, but it's really funny that we're talking about that, and that's actually what the write-up is talking about. So that's quite interesting. Anyways, should we crack open this beer?
Yeah, let's do it up.
Okay. It feels like so long since we cracked the beer.
3, 2, 1.
I am very excited for this.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh man, look at that. That is a black beer.
Shit.
Oh, Damon, come on.
Spilled some.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. It's still a solid pour, but
Look at you. Oh man, this is a beautiful beer. Shout out to MountainView for making this beer because I love it.
Looks like Coca-Cola.
It does actually.
Yeah.
It's very brown. Describe for our audio listeners. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's black. It's dark.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, if you know what Guinness looks like, it looks like it's the same coloration, I'd say, as all dark beers, right?
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh
Wow.
man,
Wow.
that's so good.
That is good.
It's delicious.
Damn.
I love this beer.
That's good. What was that? 5.3%.
Yeah, it's not strong,
Oh, that
but
tastes
it's
good.
but it's so smooth. Oh, shit.
Like it tastes like a regular, like I'm getting like, it tastes like a regular lager,
Mm.
but like hints of like chocolate.
Yeah, bit of coffee,
Yeah.
but not much.
Not
Probably why I
much.
like it more because I do not like coffee. I've said on the show, but I love dark beers,
Yeah.
and that's probably why I
This
like
is
this
good.
one so much because
This
it
is
has.
I feel like this would taste better in like a wooden stein or some shit. You know what I mean?
Out of a horn, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If anybody has a wooden stein that you would like to send to us, do it. I don't know, get in contact.
Wooden
We can
one. That'd be just. Oh.
that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Man, we could do a whole medieval episode.
Yeah.
Dude, we like have swords and like wear fur pelts.
Yeah. And then we'll like
Oh my
do
god.
the craziest
If
stuff.
you want that to happen, let us know. Because
Oh
now
yeah,
I want that to happen.
another thing I wanted to bring up. If we can get the YouTube video to 10 likes, we will do an OE review. If you don't know,
No.
if you're not familiar with what Old English, okay, so it's a big 40, and it's just like a really malt beer. It's like 8%. You see it in all like the movies and shit. You know?
Disgusting. It looks heinous. It looks criminal to have.
Yeah.
But they just got it at the liquor store David
Yeah.
works at.
Yeah, they got like a bunch of them. No one's buying them.
Yeah, I wonder why. I don't want to be the first.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
No, actually, one young guy came in and he came to the till with a bottle of OE in his hand. I was
Man,
like,
it
no.
must be an emergency.
I'm like, don't
situation.
do it. This was before what was
Oh.
going on.
Jeez. Also, to discuss maybe what's going on.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen us posting that much on our Instagram, not that we post super frequently, other than when we release content. I had made a post about it last week, but currently the province is in a state of emergency. The Lower Mainland, which is the region from where we live, all the way down to Vancouver, is been experiencing floods. We had a tornado. There's a tornado
Oh,
in
yeah.
Vancouver. Nobody talks about that. I only just learned about that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that was a real thing. Anyway, there was a tornado that hit the university in Vancouver, UBC, and there's been like crazy flooding and mudslides, rock slides, power outages all throughout. So if you're in any of those regions, like we are, stay safe out there. We know the weather's looking a bit nicer, but it's getting cold now.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are a lot of people in this town who have had floodings that have knocked out their furnaces,
Yeah.
and now they
And
can't. And now it's getting like negatives out at night,
So-
and they don't have any heat, right?
And like for the other part is that there was probably there were thousands of people
Trapped.
stranded in Hope.
Hope has like probably a population of only 7,000 something.
Yeah, 6,000 some
6,000.
thousand. And yeah, there was like thousands of people trapped because the thing is Highway 1, the farthest you could go was Chilliwack.
Welcome to Lower Mainland BC geography.
Yeah.
Class.
So basically, Hope is like the center of everything. That's why you see it on all the signs when you're driving.
It's a
towards
highway
it.
nexus.
Yeah. So basically, you got Hope, and Highway 1 is closed because Abbotsford is like underwater.
Yep.
Farthest you could go is Chilliwack. Then you got Highway 7, which actually kind of got cleared up a bit. Whole mountainside came down, just covered the entire highway. There was probably 20 vehicles were hit by the slide coming down. So I'm glad there was no fatalities or nothing. I'm glad everyone's safe.
Yeah.
And Highway 1 going eastbound towards like Boston Bar, Yale Way, I believe there was a mudslide there in one of the bridges. Or no.
There was a rock slide.
There was a rock slide, but past Lytton, there's like a train bridge. A train comes over and you go under. That's all washed out.
Yeah.
And there's closed there.
And Highway 5, the Coquihalla
Highway
is obliterated.
Literally, like that. You probably won't be able to go on that highway for about until next summer.
Oh yeah, easy, yeah, 100%.
Well, because like there's 2 bridges taken out.
Well, yeah, and I mean chunks of road that just been washed
Yeah,
away.
there's boulders on the highway.
It's insane.
Everything.
It's like a nightmare.
It's crazy. Like,
we're gonna crazy.
Nothing like I've ever seen. And the thing is, I was working at the liquor store, and for some reason we decided to open in the dark, which was kind of like our systems were down, whatever. We had people lined up. Like they cleared us out. Like we had no more Budweiser, no more beer, pretty much.
Yeah.
None of the big stuff. We still got hard liquor, but all of our beer was like gone.
You know, I'll post it on the Instagram. I have a photo when I went in the day after that, the day after the day he's talking about, when the power was back on. I went in and I looked at the beer section. I was buying wine for my mom. It was her birthday, but I looked at the beer section and I got a photo. And there's a spot where there's probably like multiple pallets worth of beer that get stacked up, just of like, you know, like domestic beers and stuff. And it was empty. There was
like
nothing.
the middle island is literally like Budweiser, Bud Light, Molson, and then Old Milwaukee on the shelf.
Yeah.
All of it was just cleared out.
Yeah.
Like
I'll post it on the social, a photo.
And it was just like a matter of days. But then, the worst thing is that our grocery stores are empty now. We have no more meat.
No more.
I don't think there's anything really.
No produce. At the moment, I think the military is supposed to be, or they were maybe now that the Highway 7 is partially open, they'll be sending it up. But I mean, if you are watching the news, if you're more local, we hit the Swedish news. I learned about that. That was pretty cool. I mean, it's a terrible thing, the fact that we did, but lots of the news coverage is about Abbotsford, which is flooded and devastated. Lots of areas have had to evacuate, like farms of like generations owned land has been lost. Merritt has had to evacuate up from us. But Hope actually doesn't get talked about at all. Like, I was listening to the news yesterday, they said hundreds of people trapped in Hope. There are actually thousands.
Thousands.
Like, now there's not. But they were talking about it as if like, oh yeah, I mean, I get that Hope hasn't had to evacuate, but the reality is we can't. Like, we live, if you don't know Hope, we are surrounded by mountains on all sides with highways snaking through them. To get really anywhere in a decently quick manner, you have to go through Hope. Sure, you take scenic routes that take add 4 hours onto your trip, but nobody does that. You go through Hope, and we've been cut off from the rest of Canada basically until 2 days ago, last night or at night when Highway 7 partially opened, but it was only for people evacuating, and now they're letting locals back in. So, but Hope doesn't get talked about. The fact that we actually it's pretty unfeasible to evacuate.
We literally catered to thousands of people.
Oh yeah, we almost doubled our population.
Yeah.
We had the high school open, the churches open, taking in strandees. The high school alone had over 700 people there. The summer camps in the area were taking in people. And MountainView, shout out to Daniel and Adam and everybody there. You guys killed it. They were offering up the bathrooms and showers there. They were doing soup and coffee by donation, and I mean they were making such a big difference. Today they've been going around with a HelloFresh order that they received, and they've been delivering all these HelloFresh boxes to the hospital and to all these different places. I mean, they've only been open. I think their anniversary party was supposed to be tomorrow, but it's been postponed. Yeah, because of all this. So they've only been open for around for a year. I mean, they're locals, they know the town, but it is amazing what such a new business is doing in this town. And everywhere.
I just wanted to say, honestly, cheers to the the Hope community coming together and helping everybody. And cheers to everyone that helped and volunteered their time just to help these people that were stranded, food, blankets. I know a few people that were volunteering at the high school. I wish I could have helped out a bit more, but I was always at the liquor store.
Yeah.
'Cause
Which
it's-
is helping its own way. Everybody needs liquor.
Yeah, so cheers to that.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. We're a small town, right? And maybe we don't get the best rep throughout the valley. Normally, you know, we're a bum town and we're full of, you know, all the crackheads coming and stuff like that. It's not a nice place, but it is. We're a small Canadian community, and at the end of the day, that does a lot. That means a lot to anybody. And we really got to see it because the municipality, the government, local government, did not do anything. This was all others coming together. We actually didn't have an emergency plan in place.
That's the thing.
The mayor and all these other people have not been seen around. And all there's been no addresses.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are people from the government, from the district locally who have been doing stuff, but it's not maybe necessarily those who you expect to see.
Yeah, I don't want to like call out the mayor or nothing.
No, but it shows that it doesn't. You don't need that for people.
Yeah,
to
that's what I mean. Like that's the thing. That's the kind of the sad thing is that we have all these people coming together. The people of hope come together. And then we figure it out ourselves. Like, for example, we had the high schools open up for these people because, like, there was a day where people were just sleeping in their cars, so we're trying to figure out. So people were like, oh, we'll open up the school, the church, all that stuff. And then a day later, after all this work has been done, the people have done, the mayor comes out of his house, whatever he's doing, and is like, oh, we'll get cots for people to sleep in. I'm like, come on, the town's already figured it out. We got people in the schools, everything.
Yeah.
Like people are offering up their homes for the people to stay in. You know, shout out to those people allowing the.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many who've done that. I mean, it's been. And shout out to all the hospital workers and all the first responders because I mean, up at the hospital, it's been insane. It's been like chaos because you have so many people who don't live in town who can't even get in. Some of them have to be airlifted in, but now they don't have a home here. So they're trying to just sleep at the hospital or find other places to sleep and eat. I mean, it is like insane the sort of work that they have to do. Ever since the beginning, they've been having to have medication airlifted in to the hospital.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add is so my cousin, she just had a baby like I don't know probably like 4 to 5 months old. So she lives in Chilliwack, right?
Not far away from here.
So they're kind of Chilliwack people are stuck in Chilliwack. They can't go anywhere. So, my cousin, her baby, so they went to every store, like Superstore, Walmart, you know, all the grocery stores out there, just for formula to feed the baby, right? And there was nothing. They got 2 max bottles. So, like. And that's bad.
Yeah.
Only 2 meals for the baby. So then my dad, he went to buy Save On and stocked up on all the formula he could, and then he had actually one of his buddies, work coworkers or something, actually flew out those formula for the baby because you got to take into account like there's other people out there that need supplies. And that's the thing about the grocery stores now. What kind of, I don't know, not really like made me upset or nothing, but you know, all the locals are putting in this work to help the people, and then the people that were stranded here, they cleared out all our shelves and then just like fucked off.
Yeah.
And then now the locals are left with nothing.
It's a tricky situation.
It's kind of.
Yeah, it's a shitty situation.
Because that's how it worked out. Because they were all lined up outside of Save On and Bilo. They cleared out Bilo in a day.
Oh yeah. Bilo is a much smaller grocery store between our Bilo and Save On. I remember going past with my sister, and we were going downtown to pick up some food.
Yeah.
And we were looking at Bilo, and the line went from the entrance out and around the whole building.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was
Nuts.
going all the way down the block. And then we went to Save On, and the line took us like 25 minutes to get through.
Yeah.
Just crazy to think that was a fast time. Like I'm like, oh yeah, it was only 25 minutes to get into the grocery store. We were in there like an hour and a half maybe, because then we had to wait for the till line. Like we stocked up on what we could, but I mean, there was still stuff.
that-
We just
like,
we didn't overstock because we're
Yeah,
we're
that's the
local. We
thing.
have it's a lot easier because there's a lot. We can buy weirder food because we can cook it here, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those people are stocking up on supplies that you can't necessarily cook because lots of them don't really have a place to cook it.
Yeah.
But the high school and the churches and stuff were offering meals. They were doing food. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. It's crazy. It was a
It's
crazy
a weird
time.
situation, but oh, what was I gonna add? Man, I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
I hate when that happens, man. That's the worst.
Let me backtrack here. Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Yeah. So, yeah, like, it's because I know like all the shit's gone, right? And all the locals here are working. They got jobs,
Yeah.
so they work in town,
Yeah.
whatever, and they're helping the people.
Mhm.
And then the weekend comes, everyone's gone. Like, we got no food. How's it gonna come? So hopefully, some shipment comes out for the.
We're supposed to be being airlifted food and having it brought in. It is crazy the amount of like resources that are being like expelled or used now. Like people were leaving via aircraft, either small plane or helicopter, by boat. They were taking boats out of town and train. They had a passenger train stop in town and collect. I think they had enough for 500 something people.
Oh, did you hear about that plane crash just outside of Hope?
Yep, that happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
And there was at up the Coquihalla a little bit at a place called Needle Peak. There was a plane that crashed, like a small private plane
Yeah.
that crashed.
Two people.
Yep, it was. Search and rescue. Shout out to you guys because I know some people in SAR and the nonstop work they've had to do. I mean, they've had just constant call outs all happening at the same time. And it just kept escalating, right? I mean, yeah, you got the plane crash, and then there was missing people, and then you have the slides and all these evacuations. It's insane. All the first responders, everything you've been doing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers to you. You guys have been. You need a beer. You need to sit down and have a drink.
Have a beer.
And I'm sure you know that. So cheers to you guys.
Have a beer, Stacy.
Have a beer, Stacy.
Have a beer, Stacy.
You need that beer.
And then another thing, we have like all this, catastrophic events going on. There's a house fire.
Oh yeah, last night. So
it's just like not a good time for Hope right now.
No, it's not. It's just not talked about in the same way. I mean, we're a small town. All the new stuff is there hasn't, I don't think, been an article that's been on the news about Hope citizens necessarily. They've talked to some.
Yeah.
Jeff Kuhn, the pastor of the church, they talked to him. I saw that interview last night. They're talking to people, but a lot of it is just about people getting out of Hope.
Yeah.
And there's not much about
what the people are doing
in Hope.
The people of Hope, what they're doing, their actions, and what they've done to help these people.
Yeah, or what they're gonna do now that we're still stuck.
Yeah, like I saw a couple and their, I think, 8-month-old baby. A family took them in.
Yeah.
And that's.
It's crazy.
I'd love to see that.
I saw last night on the news, Global News, Vancouver. They were interviewing a guy who was just getting out. Him and his family. They were staying at, I think, one of the motels, maybe a slumber lodge. I can't remember, but it's not important. But he was like, he started to kind of go into tears talking about like how the community, how much support he's gotten from the community, and him and his family have gotten. I mean, it's a crazy time, right? Like it's traumatizing for a lot of people, especially those who are stuck on the highway behind a slide or between two, because there were over 200 people stuck between two slides, and they had to spend a whole night in their cars before they were evacuated. And brought to town. So there are stories that are being shared, but the overall picture is like we're still stuck, right? It's quite a crazy time. To be alive. It's hard to believe, honestly, that any of it's happening.
It's crazy now. Well, I mean, you were saying. So the people that are staying in the high school, there's probably 1,000 people at the high school.
There's over 700 for sure.
Something like that, and once they caught wind of that highway opening up for a second,
They're
everyone was just heading out.
Yep.
And apparently there were fights breaking out.
Yeah, because myself and a couple others who have not been on the show yet, we're gonna go. We're volunteering at the high school. We were there for about an hour in the morning one day, and then they're like, okay, there's not really much to do right now. We have it under control, but would you guys want to come in for a night shift and you stay for however many hours throughout the night to make sure that there's coffee and tea available, people are helped, and also because there have been fights breaking out. I mean, people are stressed out, they're nervous, they're afraid, and then there's hundreds of people all around them and their families, and they're like encroaching on each other's territory, their spaces, and fights happen. People start having disputes, and they wanted us there to try and help with that, right? Help take care of it and make sure that doesn't really happen. So we show up we were like, okay, so we go volunteer at a summer camp nearby who was taking in people and worked in the kitchen for a bit there to help provide food. And then we go back to the high school and there's nobody there. Because by this point, everybody caught wind of the fact that the Highway 7 had opened leaving town, and they all took their chance to get out. So we weren't even needed there. But yeah, things were so crazy that they wanted us there to help deal with it. Because I mean, you think about it. We've got a small high school. I don't know how many students they get now. What was it when we were there? Maybe 400 people overall.
Yeah. 400.
Overall, including staff. And then you're having 700 people, including volunteers. Volunteers on top of that who are all stuck there. I mean, you can imagine how tight squeezed that would be, right? So it makes sense that fights would start breaking out. But it's crazy at the same time that it's happening. Right here in our town.
Yeah. And just to think how there's fights breaking out when these people should be working together.
Yeah.
Because they're in the same boat.
Exactly. Everybody's here because they can't get home, or they're stuck at home.
And that's another thing I seen when I was working at the liquor store. When those people were waiting in line, they were all sharing stories and stuff and their situation. And people were actually making friends.
Yeah.
Because they were going through the same shit, right? And they're when they would go their separate ways, okay, good luck, man. It was kind of like that, and it was pretty cool to see, right?
Yeah.
People coming together like that.
Yeah.
When they don't even know each other. So.
I mean, it really shows, we're all just people just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a tricky time for everybody. And even now that they're home, so many of those people, I'm sure, went home to flooded houses. Houses that are destroyed that they can't stay at.
Think about some of the people that are living in Abbotsford that were stranded here.
Yeah, I know a girl and her family owns a farm in Abbotsford, and she posted a video yesterday or the day before of them going through her farm on a boat. That's how they drove through the farm, was on a boat, a little a little motorboat going through the whole property because it was flooded enough that they could just take a boat through to see the damage. Obviously, the damage is very visible. It's just full of water. It's insane, and that happened to so many different families. I mean, it's our whole agricultural district basically.
Yeah,
has just been annihilated. So, anyways, it's a crazy time. But what are your thoughts on the beer?
I like it.
It's
really smooth.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very smooth, and it's not bitter or nothing. It just sounds so nice, man. It's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
You got a ranking?
I do, actually. I do have a ranking.
Should we chug it first?
I mean, I'm pretty close to being done, man. You can have some more. I'll keep drinking. So, as I stated on 2 weeks ago, I believe, on our Lighthouse episode. Yep.
Yeah.
Lighthouse Brewing. Love you guys. Love Lighthouse. If you're watching, shout out to Ryan Patch. Maybe one day he'll make it. But I was talking. Their Keeper's Dry Irish Stout. I love it. It was delicious. And at the time I was like, it's the best stout I've ever had on the episode. The best dark beer I've ever had on the show. And I picked some up the other night And, you know, cause I told my mom, you gotta try this. And so we were drinking some last night. So I've had that recently, and now I'm having this. Which, excuse me, I think is great because they're very close to me. The two beers. Going from this dark beer and the stout. And you know what? Bless you. Bless you. Big one. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna rank this beer a 92. The same ranking I gave to Keepers. The exact same. I ranked them the same. They, in slightly different ways, they hit me perfectly. 92. I'm pretty sure 92 is what I rank Keepers. If not, well, 92 is what I'm giving it. I love this beer. Ah, it's so good. MountainView, you've done it again.
Huh?
You've done it again.
Yeah.
What do you rank it, sir?
I don't know. Oh my god, I need Kleenex. You got Kleenex?
No, bro, you used it all. So anyways, Damon, what would you rank this beer?
That's tough.
Jesus.
I had to burp it.
Yeah, I can tell. That was...
I really like this beer though.
It's a great beer.
Would I do it? Would I drink this beer again? That's the question.
Do you have... I guess it's for the show. Actually, have you had this beer before?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I haven't had this beer before.
I never realized. I thought you.
It's
Holy
good.
shit! I never realized. Oh my god. Your dark side of town virginity.
Yeah.
Dude, that means something else. Anyways. Dude, that's okay. Alright, sir.
I like this beer, man.
Great.
Gives me like really. This is a winter beer for sure.
Oh, it's so good.
It's fitting the vibes.
Would you say this is a Sunday roast beer?
Mm.
Sure, this was a nice Sunday roast.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he gets it. It's a Sunday roast beer. That should be a shirt. We should make a Sunday roast shirt.
We should.
Would anybody buy that? If anybody's made it this far in the episode, you probably haven't. Would you? Do you think you'd buy a Sunday roast shirt? What kind of shirts would you want? If you have an idea for a shirt, let us know.
It's a 90.
A 90? Oh my god! This beer's sitting at a 91!
Yeah, it's a 90. Tastes good. It's good. It's really smooth.
Where does that smell?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to look it up. Very interesting. 91. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
What is it? What?
91.
On what?
What? Oh, go to our Instagram.
Oh, I don't have Instagram right now.
Oh yeah. We'll figure it out later. There you go. I forgot about that. Yeah, you can't really just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Ladies and gentlemen, MountainView Brewing Co., the dark side of town, sitting at a 91 overall.
It's a good beer.
ranking.
It's a good beer. I like
I
it.
love it. This beer is delicious.
Is it chuggable though?
No, it shouldn't be. It's not supposed to be chuggable. If you're chugging back, well, I mean, I don't know, we're going through it faster than I think I would have.
Yeah, I know. It's good. It's good. I like it. It's not really filling.
It's not, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Because it gives it more versatility, you know?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so
been a good episode, been a dark episode maybe.
Been a dark one.
Dark
actually.
beer,
Really-
dark topics.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Well, I
pretty
guess it's
deep.
actually, it's pretty, it's also pretty happy topics because we're talking about all like the,
Yeah,
you know,
I
the
guess.
community involvement.
Yeah,
So.
it's just reality. That's what it is.
Yeah. Welcome
It-
to the
it's
realest
a-
episode
it's
of
a-
Brew Buddies you'll ever watch.
You know, it's a topic where we're in here. You know, this is kind of like our
Bubble.
You know,
Yeah, our
and
balls. Cube.
when we kind of talk about things that are going on in our lives, it really just pulls us out for a
Does.
minute. And
Pull game strong in this room.
yeah, I just want to say, like, shout out to all the people that were, the people of hope in general, just
Yeah.
for helping everyone.
And
you
safe
know,
travels to everybody not from home.
Yeah, yeah. everyone be safe, you know? Cheers.
Cheers. And good night.
Good night.
I'm gonna go watch The Iron Giant now in theaters.
Yeah.
Also support the local theater.
Yeah.